God is awake for you, and He will keep shielding you from the attacks of the enemy. He will fight those that come against you and bring them to destruction. Knowing that you will certainly face several attacks may be a lot to accept, but when those attacks come, do not relent in doing God's work. And don't relent in seeking God's help. If you do so, then the devil wins. Do not be troubled. Remember God's words. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13 says, "There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." He's not a wicked Lord. He will not give you a burden too big for you to bear. He has already equipped you with a capacity to face these situations. Even more, He is present with you when the enemy is attacking, and He will attack the attackers for your sake. Remember that God is on your side, and because of this, you have overcome the world. This is why we were given the Holy Spirit, to allow you to keep counting on God to fight your battles and deal with your attackers. God never sleeps. His ears are constantly open to hearing your prayers. All you need to do is call upon Him and He will answer. He is ever ready to help His children. He is a faithful God, and He will rise for your case and deal with your attackers. All you need to do is to call upon Him. He said in His words that we should ask and we will receive. So ask. God's words are not like that of men. He is faithful to His words. If He says He'll be there, then trust Him to be there to fight and chase off those attackers. David described God as his defense. God as your defender means He'll fight your battles for you. He will oppose your attackers and destroy all attacks against you. God is known as the mighty warrior in battle. He's a man of war, and His might cannot be matched. He has never lost a battle, and He will not start now. So when God fights for you, victory is certain. His attacks are indefensible, and what He destroys is destroyed. Sometimes, when we're faced with attacks, our first instinct is to fight back. We want to defend ourselves against the attack, and we sometimes manage to do this in the carnal sense. We often forget our best defense, God. Vengeance is of the Lord. Why take up God's role? In the Bible, Jesus faced many attacks, but He never fought back. Jesus is extremely powerful, hence, it was not a result of weakness. He simply decided to trust God to fight for Him. Can you do this? Can you wait patiently for God to take up your fight? Or will you burst into the battle yourself? As Christians, we should act like Christ. We should trust God for protection and defense, wait patiently on Him, and not falter in our faith. Patience is not easy, but it is a required virtue when dealing with God. You could call upon God and He would answer you immediately, or He could make you wait for a while. When you're waiting, remember that God will never leave you nor forsake you. He will stand up and fight for your case. God will attack those He needs to attack so that your life can change for the better. All He wants you to do is trust Him and be patient while He's on the battlefield for you. Job is an excellent example of patience. The devil took note of him and decided to test him. He beset him with several afflictions, yet Job remained faithful to God. And really, God gave him victory from the attacks. It takes strong faith to act as Job did. Some people will have shouted at God and began to question if He was truly with him or her. They'll ask questions like, "Why do you let me face this suffering?" Some would have even decided to end it all by committing suicide. Sometimes we're faced with attacks to test our faith. When faced with such situations, God may tell you to wait. Do not get angry. Listen to Him and wait. He will deliver you. He will rise and deal with the enemy. Don't quiver in your faith, and if your faith begins to waver, remember all the times He saved and delivered you from your attackers. Remember His mighty hand of deliverance over you. And if that's not enough, remember the ultimate expression of His love, Jesus Christ. A Lord that loves you enough to send His Son to die for you even before you were born. He loved you so much that He kept you even when you were yet a sinner. Do you think that God will leave you now? Do you think He will abandon you in the land of your attackers? He has promised to take care of you, to protect you, and He will. Our shield is another name we call God. We call Him that because He not only defends us, but also protects us from the attacks of our enemies. God hates wicked people, especially those that oppress His people. The Bible has many records of God fighting on behalf of His people. Do not be deceived, it's not history. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. There are still testimonies about Him attacking His children's oppressors. So do not put your trust in anyone but Him. Whatever problem attackers are throwing your way, be it physical, spiritual, mental, or otherwise, He is capable and willing to solve them. The Lord will not withhold His help from His children, because He knows that He is all that we have. God has assured us of His protection. Our problems will not break us. All we need to do is believe Him and have faith that He's capable of pulling us out of the deep pits, and He will do so. God does not get weary. He does not faint. So as His children, we should not faint. We are to remain fervent in prayer and not give up. Nothing should make us give up. When you submit to a challenge, it overcomes you. But when you stand up and confront it, you overcome it. The choice is yours. Dwelling on your challenges will never bring a solution. Your course of action should be to hold on to God, your ever-present help with determination and strong belief. Passing through several difficult attacks from the enemy can be challenging. It's easy to give in to the devil. It's very easy to take the shortcut and want revenge. But don't fall for the devil's trap. Instead, leave yours to God, and He will fight your battles for you. Whatever attack you may be facing, there's good news. The good news is that God is right there with you. You're not alone. He is the great and mighty defender. He is that and much more. He is an all-sufficient battle axe, and He is sufficient for you today, tomorrow, and forever. He will fight and win your battles for you.